The Predator is a terrifying science fiction icon who originates from the 1987 film starring action-adventure legend Arnold Schwarzenegger. The Predator possesses technology far advanced than what humans on Earth have. They have a remarkable ability to hunt and stalk their prey using advanced stealth tools, they have highly advanced weapons, their armor allows them to camouflage themselves seamlessly, and they can fire off plasma projectiles. Plus, their bodies can sustain a huge amount of damage, and they're capable of healing after things like multiple gunshot wounds. If the films are any signifier, a human facing off against a Predator is no easy feat. But what about a superhero? Well, in a previous video we explored the top 10 times Predator has faced off against some of our most beloved heroes and superpowered individuals. Now we're jumping into hypothetical land and exploring what superheroes out there the Predator could surely defeat in battle. Don't expect Superman or Batman on this list though, that's for sure. So with that in mind, let's jump into our list of the top 10 superheroes that the Predator could beat. Starting us off at number 10, Skate Man. Yes, it's this kind of list. Skate Man was created in 1983 by Neil Adams, which is weird because Neil Adams is often considered to be one of the greatest legends in comic book history. Anywho, Skate Man popped up in his own self-titled comic published by Pacific Comics. His alter ego was Billy Moon, and he had no superpowers. He was in great physical shape and could hold his own in hand-to-hand combat. But perhaps the oddest thing about him was how he chose to fight crime. Billy was a Vietnam vet with an interest in martial arts. And the best part, roller derby. After his best friend was killed by a biker gang, a depressed Billy meets a young boy named Paco, who shows him his comic book collection, ultimately inspiring Billy to wrap a scarf around his head and become a vigilante, and fight crime on his roller skates. It's the roller skates that complicates things. Now imagine Skate Man coming face to face with a Predator. Think about how the Predator would react to a dude rolling around on roller skates trying to kick its butt. Yeah. Don't need to be super imaginative to guess how that one would go. Up next, number 9, Bat Cow. This is an obvious choice for this list. Bat Cow would not be seen as a foe in the eyes of a Predator. She would be seen as lunch, a walking plate of raw beef, a delicacy from the planet Earth for the Predator to mow down on. And hey, look at that! Bat Cow lives at the Wayne Enterprises dairy farm with a bunch of other lovable and delicious animals for the Predator to eat. It's like a freaking buffet for the alien warrior. The only positive to a Predator mowing down on Bat Cow is that she contains a synthetic hormone that was fed into her thanks to a pharmaceutical experiment of Professor Pig's, which ultimately can allow for mind control. So hey, even if the Predator ate Bat Cow, Damian Wayne could avenge his beloved pet by manipulating the Predator into a horrible death. Speaking of cows, up next number 8, Leather Boy. This Predator stands no chance against the Predator, that's for sure. Leather Boy, aka Jean Lorene, once upon a time attempted to join the Great Lakes Avengers. Thing is though, dude didn't have a superpower. He was just obsessed with BDSM. When Great Lakes Avengers realized this, he was kicked off their team, as he would be, and later became a villain, donning a Dr. Doom-inspired version of his BDSM outfit. Oh boy. Anywho, this boils Leather Boy down to a dude who is just really human and defines himself solely based off of his kink. Sure, other humans have beaten a Predator before, but hey, he's no Arnold, meaning he would be easy for a Predator to kill, if that Predator chose to do so. Perhaps his presence would be so offensive to the Predator that it would just feel the need to straight up murder him. Not saying there's anything wrong with BDSM, but you know, when you want to be a superhero and your power is to be into BDSM, bit of judgment going your way. In at number 7, Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck, who first appeared in 1973's Adventure into Fear issue 19, is a 3-foot tall anthropomorphic duck. He smokes cigars, and he typically doesn't wear pants. He has no actual superpowers, but he is skilled in a form of martial arts known as Quack Fu, which he has used on multiple occasions to defeat foes of a much larger stature than he is. He also seems to have a bit of mystic talent, and once Doctor Strange even offered to train him, although Howard declined. He's also donned a suit of powered armor called the Iron Duck, that had foot-mounted leaping coils, a chest-mounted searchlight, and flamethrowers. But is all of that enough to take on a Predator? That is the alien, not Leather Boy. While Howard could arguably last a little longer in a fight against a Predator than most of the other numbers on this list, it seems very likely that the Predator's more advanced technology would give it an advantage that would eventually lead to Howard's defeat. Plus, all those years of cigars surely wouldn't help much with Howard's stamina, even if he was able to hold his own for a little while. Wonder if the Predators have a thing for duck. Moving on to 6, we've got Robin, aka Damian Wayne. Okay, Sure, putting a Robin on this list is a bit of a debate. One of the previous Robins actually faced off against a Predator warrior his age in one of the Batman-Predator crossovers from the 90s, and lived to see another day, but with like a lot of help from Batman. But consider this, a full-grown Predator warrior comes across the Batcave, searching for Batman, who he considers to be a worthy foe. While entering the Batcave using his incredible stealth abilities and surpassing Batman's security, assuming that Batman has never actually encountered a Predator before and doesn't know what to expect, the alien gets in. And who does he encounter by chance? Damian Wayne. Damian, having no previous experience with a foe like this, would easily succumb in battle. Or do as his mentor does at least. Get away. And then do everything in his power and knowledge to craft a way to strike against this foe when they inevitably meet again. But on a chance meeting, arguably the Predator would be able to kill him. Cause, you know, he's a child, and the Predator is not above being a child murderer. At least when that child is considered a warrior, I suppose. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe they're just like, just kill kids. Moving on. In at number 5, He-Man. He-Man is more than a formidable foe. He's got super strength, super speed, he's acrobatic, has indestructible skin, he's gone up against the pre-crisis Superman, he's fought against a snake god, he can endure explosions. Yeah, pretty impressive. But here's the thing. He's super duper naive, and that's his downfall, at least when facing off against a character as intelligent as the Predator, who would easily be able to hunt him and find a way to lure him into its trap. Plus, compared to most of the other numbers on this list, He-Man is a physically much better candidate to be considered prey by a Predator, so naturally the Predator would bring its A-game to take him down. And to be fair, considering He-Man has indestructible skin, there's a very good chance the Predator wouldn't be able to kill him. But in terms of defeat, without a little help from his friends, he's a hero that the Predator would at least be able to manipulate. Also, as Prince Adam, he would probably be a goner. Just saying. Up next at 4, Vibe. These days, Vibe has gotten a better portrayal than the character ever really deserved. You may recognize this hero as the character on the CW's Arrowverse, specifically The Flash. But back before his big TV glamour days, Vibe was just a character who first debuted in 1984, in the Justice League of America Annual Issue 2. Vibe was once the leader of a street gang in Detroit, who decided to give up on his Los Lobos to join up with the superhero team. Vibe has the ability to emit powerful vibration shockwaves, but as one could guess, you can take the man off the streets, but you can't remove the streets from the man. Vibe would get the Justice League in trouble with another rival gang of his, in between breakdancing and doing other stuff on the street, hanging out, being cool and whatnot. This had gotten Vibe a pretty laughable reputation. He was also killed off on the job and has been resurrected twice by villains, and killed both times. Needless to say, Vibe's recklessness and carefree behavior in the comics would make him susceptible to more advanced tactics of a Predator. While he could probably hold his own in a brief battle using his abilities, there's no way that the hero could outsmart the Predator. Or a Predator. A single Predator. A race of Predators. He'd be dead. In at 3, Frogman. Poor Frogman. This sad excuse of a superhero is the son of a supervillain who went by the name of Leapfrog, and borrowed his father's equipment in an attempt to become a hero and redeem his father's name. Noble, right? Well, this equipment gives him the ability to leap at great heights and long distances thanks to electrical coils inside of his boots. But aside from that, he doesn't really do much of anything else. And when you think of how many superheroes and villains there are out there who are capable of flight, or have an ability that could easily be used to attack a target at long range, Frogman doesn't really stand much of a chance. So the argument here is that a Predator could f his shit up. It's an easy argument to make. Frogman is often considered a nuisance in the Marvel Universe too, and is only ever successful in battle thanks to the efforts of other superheroes and a heaping pound of sheer luck. Or rather, just pounds and pounds and pounds of sheer luck. And at number 2, Matter Eater Lad. Oh. Matter Eater Lad was first introduced in Adventure Comics issue 303 back in 1962, and he was a member of the Legion of Superheroes. Matter Eater Lad is able to bite through and consume all forms of matter, including matter that is supposedly indestructible, which also includes Superman. How did he get this power? Well, his home planet Abysmal had an issue with their food. Gradually, the food was poisoned by microbes, so the inhabitants of the planet evolved to be able to eat and digest any substance. But aside from being able to eat and digest stuff, he can't really do much of anything else. So in other words, his powers render him pretty useless against the Predator's tactics, giving him no proper means of defense. Considering the Predator could use its stealth abilities, hunt Matter Eater Lad down, and then murder him, he would be dead long before the unsuspecting hero really had any idea of what was going on. The only way that Matter Eater Lad could arguably defeat the Predator is if he clued into the fact that the Predator was there hunting him, and then began to eat the Predator whole. I mean, that would mean he would be engaged in some weird cannibalistic alien thing, but I don't know, is that okay to eat living things that aren't plants, Matter Eater Lad? Serious inquiry. Although I would imagine that a Predator would not digest overly well, all things considered. Side note, gotta love Matter Eater Lad's character bio. His parents are loving, and he has no special girlfriend. girl space friend. I'd imagine eating anything isn't really a way to attract the ladies. And finally, in at number 1, Arm Fall Off Boy. Oh. Arm Fall Off Boy's superpower is literally that his arms fall off of him. He can remove his limbs, which he then uses as clubs to beat down his opponents. Yay, blunt objects. While removing his limbs, his body makes a sound that reads as plorp. I mean, hey, in theory you could argue how removing one's limbs could be useful somehow. But in practice, removing a limb is a serious disadvantage in a battle, especially if you're coming up against any of the kinds of villains that exist in the DC universe. Now, according to our previous number, Matter Eater Lad, in the Legionnaires issue 12 volume 4, Arm Fall Off Boy got his powers through being careless while holding the anti-gravity metal element 152. Arm Fall Off Boy first appears in Secret Origins volume 2 issue 46, and tries out for the Legion of Superheroes, and is obviously rejected. It is later revealed that when in a state of panic, Arm Fall Off Boy's limbs will fall off uncontrollably as a reaction. So, imagine this. It is a dark and dreary night. The Predator stalks the streets of whatever city Arm Fall Off Boy is from. The two come across one another in an empty alleyway. The Predator gets ready to kill. Arm Fall Off Boy takes one look at his alien foe, and then completely and quite literally falls to pieces. The Predator then grunts, seeing this shamble of a superhero, and strides away, looking for a foe that is actually worthy of the hunt. So yes, Predator wins here. Hands down. Plorp. Alright, there we have it, guys. Which superheroes do you think the Predator could take on? Which superheroes that aren't a joke do you think the Predator could defeat? Let us know in those comments below. And if you want us to do a part 2, give us a shout about that as well. In the meantime though, if you dug this video, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to Top 10 Nerd for many more videos with funny superhero characters and predators, and also serious superhero videos and supervillains. In the meantime though, thanks for watching everybody. I've been Kelly Pally, and I'll catch you all in the next video.